going on, guys? My name is Nick, or Olsen Auto, and in today's video we got a whole bunch of things going on. We're working on the daily today. We're actually giving it some flavor, making it a little bit cooler. Now, the first real mod that I did were these LED blacked out headlights, and in today's video we're going to be doing smoked tail lights, suspension, everything, all that fun stuff. And I have a new set of wheels for it as well. Alright guys, before we get into this video, I just want to ask you to subscribe and turn on that notification bell to stay updated whenever I post, and be sure to give this video a like as well. So like I said guys, the first mod we did, these are LED smoked housing headlights. Now we're still on stock wheels. I got new tires though, so that's cool. I have two new fenders, a new hood, and a new trunk, but that won't be going on in this video. They will be going on soon. I need to get a new wing, new rear bumper, new front lip and side skirts before I do all that, because I'm going to paint it all at once. I'm smoking out the taillights today. I'm putting it, check this out. So a little while back I purchased these genuine eBay coilovers. Got a bunch of other parts here as well, and the genuine eBay coilovers, so we're going to be throwing all that in today. So the first step is to go ahead and get this car up on blocks, take all four wheels off, so let's do it. So the Accord is now in its forever home. I mean home for a few days while we do the coilovers. Now, ignoring my address on those boxes, we're going to take all the boxes out. And I'm also going to take out these taillights because it's supposed to get warm today and I want to paint those up. So this is what we're going to be putting on the taillights here. Now, I was going to take the taillights off as you guys saw prior, but it looks like the bumper has to come off to do that. I'm far too lazy to do that. Plus, this says you don't even have to mask it. It says on the instructions that it'll just wipe away. So, Duplicolor, don't fail me now. So, since it's not too bad out, I'm going to go ahead and clean these up and I guess throw some smoke translucent lens tint on them. So these are the results after the first coat. As you can tell, it's getting a little foggy. Now there's a bunch of overspray, but it looks like it should come right off with a wet cloth, which is awesome. The can didn't seem like it lied, and this is the other one. So I guess we're going to apply. We're going to set a 5-minute timer. All right, let's hit them with that NASCAR pit crew style. I just sat on a spindle. Alright, so for the back, I'm throwing one wheel bearing on this side, and I'm putting in the struts as well. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to take off the brake caliper bracket, which will take the caliper with it. And then, hopefully take that strut off, which looks like it hasn't been touched since 2004 when this thing rolled off the assembly line. So a little while back, I put two new calipers on the rear. As you see, nice powder coated brackets. So I just took that off. So we're trying to get at this hub so we can replace this because I'm getting a new wheel bearing for it. So let's take that out. Just for laughs, I want to see how tight this lower strut bolt is. Oh. Huh. Okay, well, that's a blessing. So, we're getting this dust cap off, so we have a flathead screwdriver. Now, of course, it didn't come off that easy. I hit it with the hammer, but there you go. Butter. It looks like the inner part of the bearing stayed on, where on the old hub, you can see the rest of the bearing in there. You shouldn't be able to see those balls, so I guess we're going to try to punch this off with like a chisel. So these are the coilovers we're going to be putting in the Accord. They're max feeding rods, pretty much the cheapest ones you can buy on eBay. You can get them for less than 300 bucks for all four, so they're super cheap. Now we have a rear and a rear right here. So I'm going to install this side, I'm literally going to set these to their lowest possible setting and then see how she sits. But even at their highest setting, it still looks like it's going to drop the car significantly. So hopefully we're scraping oil pan trying to pull out of the driveway. So ignoring the massive noise in the background, as you can tell, it ain't going well. So tried to do the rears first. You have to disassemble like the whole interior just to get the 2 top bolts out, and then it doesn't fit past anything. So we're basically just trying to destroy the sway bar end link to fit it past, and then we'll just end up replacing the sway bar end link. Alright, after finishing up my school for the day at exactly 8:37 a.m., I'm gonna go ahead and finish the Accord coilovers. So it's a new day working on the Accord, but also last night I decided to look up some sunroof videos because I've had a lot of water inside the passenger footwell. It's been leaking down the A-pillar over there, and I knew these 2 front drains were good. Neither of them are clogged. The only reason there's some water here is because the car's at an angle. There's not actually water there. So I looked up a video, and there's a drain in the back underneath this carpet, and it was full of mud, so it wasn't leaking any water. It wasn't draining out, it should be. So I went ahead and I cleaned it out. And the Prelude also has been running really, really well lately, so I'm just kind of letting it air out right now because I want it to be all nice and fresh and not smell like moldy water. So back to the Accord. So for the fronts, I have to undo this bottom bolt right here. I have to undo the pinch bolt to get this metal bracket off. And then I have to undo the upper ball joint. And then these ones up top right here. And that lets me get the coilover out. And then of course you gotta slip the new one in, but I also have to do those as well. So this is the end result of the first day of work. As you can see, definitely not new coilovers, although I did get the new wheel bearing pressed on, the new hub. The smoke taillights are looking pretty good. So the smoke taillights are looking good. Got this strut and that strut off. Now I will need to get a sway bar end link on this, and I'll need to get a sway bar end link on this as well. I got this one off. I need to get this lower control arm out so that I can replace the bushing in it because it's shot. As you can see, I got the strut out, but there's so much more work to do. Tomorrow's another day, so let's get to it. So I got most of the overspray from around the taillights off. They're looking pretty snazzy. I'm liking how it looks. Now hopefully we can get all 4 coils in and hopefully some sway bar end links on the other side. Hopefully I don't have to put a new one in on this side, but we'll see as the day goes on. So this coilover is held in by 2 bolts up top underneath the rear speaker lid, and then it's held in at the bottom by 1 big bolt right here. As you can see, the big bolt is out, and I can get those out relatively easily, hopefully. So what happens when you get it out is, since the strut is literally from there all the way up to there, it's a super, super long strut. It doesn't just slide right out. We have to remove some other things. What we're going to be taking out is this sway bar end link, but the sway bar end link just isn't going to come out. It didn't on the other side, and I doubt it will on this side. So we're going to take off the bracket that's holding the sway bar end link, and we're going to be able to push it out of the way. It means I have to move this hose, undo this bolt, and then I think there's a 3rd bolt right there. And then once all those are off, we can take those 2 out and hopefully pop in our new strut. Alright guys, so I ended up taking off those bolts. I managed to get the strut out. Now in here, just so I can show you, you have to crawl in here, and then in there the 2 bolts on both sides. So that gets out your rear coilovers. Now we have 2 new ones right here that are going back in the rear. Working on getting the front end apart, but in the meantime we're going to go ahead, get the sway bar ready to go back in, and fix up the rear end of this car. So you know, we have the 2 rears. Look at the size difference between the factory rear and the one that I just put in. We're losing at least that much height. That's at least 3 to 4 inches. This thing's gonna sit stupid low. So I just took a huge break from recording just to get this done. As you can see, I've been emptying out the trunk again because I just threw everything back in there overnight. Taillights are still looking good. So these coilovers are officially installed in the rear. Everything is buttoned back up. I put a jack under it to tighten the shock. Oh.
What the hell is that?
So, I have to tighten up these lock rings a little bit. As you can see, that makes it nice and sturdy. So I got to tighten those with the spanner wrench, but They're tightened up top. I'm working on putting the trunk back together and rebolting in the headlights. They came out good. I had to scrape a bunch of overspray off, but that's okay because I already have a new trunk for it, and overspray is just extra protection, right? So with absolutely no weight on the suspension, it's already lower in the rear with the tire just sitting on it than it was when the car's on the ground. So when this thing's on the ground, it's gonna be low. Now I'm gonna throw one of the new wheels. They are Civic SI rims. I'm gonna throw one of those on there and see how it looks. So it's the end of the second day with the coilover project. So the rear hub on, I had to take the rear brakes back apart because I put these in the wrong holes. Fun. But the coilovers are in and tightened on both sides of the rear. Now I didn't show any of this because it was an absolute pain in the butt to try and get these things in there and get everything done. I don't feel like dealing with filming. I have to get a new sway bar end link for this side. I didn't end up putting it in, but what are you gonna do? Now, as you can see, got the other coil out, and I even put this one up in here. I have to fully tighten it down and, well, punch out that old control arm bushing that's shot, but that one's in, and then this side's the fighter. This side has been giving us trouble, so this one finally came out. Total nuisance to get out. This one up here, the front lower control arm bushing, is a nightmare. It keeps spinning the bushing because it's so shot, so you can't even get it loose. So you haven't even put the new coil in yet, but once that's out, home stretch, I'll finally start filming what we're actually doing rather than just dumb updates. Smells like a burnout. Only took about 3 days, but that control arm is finally out. We have it sitting right here. As you can tell, this bushing is a little clapped. This one is as well, so I have to pick one of these up. It's just super mangled up. So this one, and this one, the compliance on the other one. So gotta press these out now. Alright, so we pressed in the new control arm bushing. I'm not replacing that one because it's not shot, but on the other side we're replacing both. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna put that back in so we don't have to deal with what we dealt with last time. We're gonna use plenty of expired anti-seize. We're just gonna lather it on every single nut and bolt, put it all back together. This side will be done, and I'm just waiting for that bushing to come in for the other side, and then the car will be done. So minus the fact that my hands are disgusting and there's anti-seize all over my camera, the two rears are done and this front one looks done, right? New coilover, spindles back on. I have to take off this inner sway bar end link because the axle on the other side of the car ended up getting stuck in the sway bar, so I have to loosen it so I can rotate that and move the axle. It got stuck and it doesn't move, so I have to do that tomorrow because we're waiting on one bushing that's coming in tomorrow. We're gonna press in the two control arm bushings for this corner right here, and then once those are pressed in, it's go time. It took me like an hour and a half to reassemble the other side, throw on 4 wheels, and she'll be slammed. Now of course it snowed yesterday, so I have to shovel some of the snow out from around the Accord so I can actually work and lay down in the nice mushy wet snow. This is gonna be fantastic. Alright, the first order of business, so the sway bar right here, these are the end links for those who don't know. On the other side, I have it fully assembled, right? Sway bar end link has to come back off. The reason that is because I tightened it, and when I tightened it, I didn't bother to check out this side to see what it was doing, so I accidentally tightened the sway bar, which wedged the axle, and it got it really stuck. And there's really no way without breaking one or the other to do it, so I have to go on the other side, loosen the sway bar end link, let the sway bar fall down, move the axle to the other side, just up and over, and then that'll be fixed. It's literally that easy. All that work just to do that. Also, for the lower control arm, we have the 2 new bushings pressed in. I just used my Harbor Freight hydraulic 20-ton press. Now, to tighten this side back up and throw a wheel on it. So I got it tight, I had to readjust the vice grips, and now they're stuck. Oh, I broke them. Sweet. So, a lot of struggling, blood, sweat, and tears, literally. And we are about to get this car on the ground. All 4 tires are on and tight. I have the breaker bar so when it's actually on the ground, can give it a final snug, but let's lower this thing.
That's what we'd like to have.
Yes! The jack got stuck, that's all I wanted. I'm not rubbing! So, I'll be honest, right? Like from the back, it looks respectably low, right? Like that's a good fitment. I wish the wheel was out a little bit more, but you know, we got the tinted taillights, but then you go up to the front. And it's just, I did not expect the car to be this low. I mean, this thing is literally 1 finger gapping. I just put some more air in this tire because it was a bit low, but I mean, that's respectably low. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm literally like almost rubbing. I might have to go a bit higher with the coilovers, which is fine. They're obviously adjustable. But it's so freaking low, guys. I guess I'm gonna try to take it for a drive. I gotta get gas. A little scared. Might rip the exhaust off, trying to pull out of my driveway, but I guess we'll see, right? It's honestly, as bad as it sounds, for the community that I represent, it's too low. I drove it to the gas station and the exhaust was scraping and there's no wheel gap and I can't really make it out of my driveway safely. So the plan is to raise it up about 1 inch. That'll level it out with the back, which looks a little bit more appropriate. Although I love this look, it's not as practical for a daily. This lowness is better for that car, but of course I ended up slamming my daily by accident instead. Alright guys, so with the coilovers, the new control arm bushings, and the wheel bearings successfully installed, that is going to close out this video. Now I do need to raise these up a bit more, but I'm going to do that off camera. You guys don't want to see me screaming and adjusting coilovers while I hit my head on the fender, so I'll save that for off camera. If you guys did like this build or you're curious as to how I did it, I'm always down for better explanations. If you guys need any questions answered, just comment them down below. I loved making this video. My car's a bit too low now, but that's the thing, right? I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell to stay updated on all my newest content. But just like that, this video is over. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.